Hello, guys. Today I'm gonna talk about something mixed about technology and a really hot topic recently, which is bitcoins and blockchain. Uh, I think everybody here has a personal bank account somewhere where you have all your money or part of your money. Imagine if one day you go to the bank or you open your app of your bank and you see that you have 0 credits and there's no proof that you had money there. The only thing that proves that you had money is your word or a photo you've taken, and it's just a number. The bank doesn't have doesn't have a large vault with all cash that everybody have. So it's just a number in your in an internet page or in an app. So what proves that you have money there? It's just a data. It's just a number in a table, in a database, in a server somewhere that belongs to the bank. So all your money, you just have your money because you trust a bank, and because the bank has regulations and stuff with the government. But it's just a number, it's a data somewhere. If one day your bank decides that you don't have any more money and your credits go to 0, nobody else can say otherwise, only you. And this happens because your data is centralized. Basically, your data, in this case your money, belongs to someone, belongs to your bank. And if your bank wants, it can take your money out, it can make your credits go to 0, and there's nothing you can do about this. So this is why this is a motivation behind blockchain. So I'm gonna try to explain really. I'm not going to enter into details here, technical details, but I'm gonna to talk more about why is it useful and why it exists. Okay, so first things first, what is the blockchain? You can imagine the blockchain as a huge list of records. Each block here, each cube you see here, has a record of something that happened. For example, each block here can register. Masashi has 100 reais in the bank, and the list goes on. Victor has 200 reais in the bank, and the list goes on. You can only write new blocks, but you cannot delete anything. So if anything is written there once, there's no one in the whole world that can delete this data. So it's like a permanent entity in the world that nobody can change. You can only write another thing over and over again. So if a block says Masashi has 100 reais, then you earn more money and you get like 200 reais. There will be another block, a more recent block, saying Masashi now has 200 reais. But you still have the older block saying that Masashi had 100 reais. You never delete anything. So you never lose information. And these blocks are not stored in one server of one company, like a bank. All these blocks are stored in many computers in the whole world. Anybody can have the whole database, the whole blockchain in your computer. If you want now, you can download the entire blockchain all the data that everybody stored there, and you can access in your computer and store a copy of this whole database in your computer. So there's not a single person or a single entity or a single company that owns the data. The data belongs to everybody at the same time. So, and this is the difference between regular databases. A database, for example, of your bank or Instagram, always belongs to somebody, to a company in this case. So if Facebook, who owns Instagram, wants to delete a photo that you've posted, it can, and there's nothing you can do about it. The same way, if your bank wants to delete your account, suddenly there's nothing you can do because the data doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the bank and is stored in one place, which is a server of your bank or the company. And this doesn't happen with the blockchain. The blockchain allows the decentralization of the data, so everybody can have a copy of the data, so it doesn't belong to any one person, belongs to everybody, and you cannot delete anything, you can only write new things, so you never lose anything. So it's like having a mystical entity somewhere in the world that you can write anything there and you never lose it. So, and nobody can change it. And how it works? So, the first thing is a network, a huge network of computers. It can be your computer, it can be a server of somewhere, anywhere in the world. Anybody can download this blockchain in their computer. And there's a mechanism to synchronize everything. So every block, every transaction, every data you want to register there, there's this process. For example, when you want to write something, a transaction in a block, you send this transaction to the network, to the blockchain network. This transaction is transmitted to the network. This transaction is validated by one of the nodes of the network, and then once it is validated, it is transmitted to the other nodes as something legitimate, as something valid. Then it is finally written a block is created, and it is written in the chain, in the blockchain. And once it's written, nobody can delete it anymore. There are more details that I won't go further because it's too technical and involves mathematics and stuff. But basically, anyone can register a new thing, and once it is registered, it cannot be changed, it cannot be deleted. And every change, every data is propagated through the network, and every node will have this change, this new data. The interesting part for me is that this makes it possible new use cases for applications that we didn't have before. For example, the most known today is cryptocurrencies. I think everybody here knows about Bitcoin or Shiba Inu or Dogecoin or Ethereum or Ripple. There are a lot of cryptocurrencies, but the idea behind a cryptocurrencies is, given that we have this global database that doesn't that anybody can write anything, that anybody can change, so we can use this blockchain to write Masashi has 100 reais, and this proves as this proves that you, Masashi, have 100 reais, and nobody can say otherwise. Nobody, Victor cannot go there and write, oh, Masashi doesn't have 100 reais, he has 200 reais, because there's a mechanism to authenticate things and to validate the transactions. You can have healthcare usage as well. Imagine that every time you go to the doctor, you could write something in a blockchain saying, today Victor went to the doctor and the doctor said that Victor is 100% good in health. Or another day, Masashi went to the doctor and he had a small problem with his fingernail. I don't know. All this information about your health could be stored somewhere that doesn't belong to anybody, so there won't be any problems in the future if for example, if you start this kind of data into a private company server, into a database that belongs to one company, this company could use it whatever it wants. It could delete your data, it could replace the data with another thing, and this doesn't happen in the blockchain because the data is stored globally and doesn't belong to anybody, and nobody can mess with your data. It is safely stored in a way that you can guarantee that it is true. Nobody's lying here. The same idea for contracts. If you write something in the blockchain validated by both parties of the contract, you don't have to go to a registry, for example, to make it official, because you have the authorization of both parties and it is written in the blockchain. And because it is written in the blockchain with the validation of both parties, you can assume that the contract is valid. You don't have to have an official. You don't have to register in the government and anything else. Because you've written the blockchain, it is valid. Voting as well, the same idea. There are some discussions today about should we make the vote printed because of fraud and this idea. This happens because they say the critic is when you have a system behind voting, for example the urna eletrônica in Brazil, the data in the urna eletrônica belongs to the government. So if people don't trust the government, you can start to not trust the voting system as well. So if you implement a voting system in the blockchain that doesn't belong to the government, it belongs to everybody, you could have a third party voting system that doesn't belong to anyone, so it is trustable because there's no one controlling everything. Games, there are some games implemented in blockchain. For example, you can prove that a record in a game is yours because you've written the blockchain and nobody can change it. Proof of ownership, this is interesting. There are some people today registering art ownership in the blockchain. For example, you have anything, you have you just drew a painting and you want to sell it to somebody, but this painting doesn't exist. For example, this is digital. You just drew something in Paint, in the Paint software using Windows. You can send this paint to somebody. You can write a record in the blockchain saying this painting belongs to Victor. From now on, this painting, and if everybody agrees, if this blockchain is is official. This painting belongs to Victor. There's no... I can have a copy of this painting in my computer, but it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Victor because it is written in the blockchain. So there are people selling their art, there are people selling memes, people selling anything digital using blockchain as well. But there are some criticisms about the technology. The first one is it has a really high energetic cost because as it is a huge network of computers spread over the world, you don't have a limit of the number of computers running the blockchain. So the more computers are running the blockchain, the higher the cost will be. And this is a problem that many blockchains are trying to solve today. And it can be slow because as it is, again, a huge network of computers, you have to propagate each change to all the computers, so it can be slow. This process can take some minutes, and if you want something to propagate instantly, it is hard to make it happen when you have a huge network of computers. And that's it. For me, it is not a subject that I know a lot about, but it is really interesting, and it is, in my opinion, a technology that is going to allow some new uses, and is going to be present in our days somewhere in the future. So it's good to know a little bit about how it works and why it is important. And that's it. Thank you.